Alrighty, Triple Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a couple characters that you should probably invest into, just because they are characters who actually be quite useful on almost every single team you probably make, right? There's a couple characters in this game that just work on all teams, and we're going to talk about those characters and what they do, why they're good, and all that stuff. So subscribe, like, join the Discord, become a member if you want, all that stuff. So let's talk about them, because obviously this is quite useful information. So we're going to talk about obviously Privity first, right? This is a character everybody gets after like 2 weeks of playing Nikke for free. Probably one of the most, if not the most valuable character in this entire game, right? If I had to give an MVP role, right, she would probably get it just because she's used everywhere on everybody's team, right? Even though she's not the best character in the game, she's still used on everybody's team because of what she does, right? So obviously her first skill, every time you enter a full burst, you're getting a massive attack buff, massive reload speed, and you're decreasing ammo capacity. Now, decreasing ammo capacity is good and bad for a certain amount of characters. It's obviously great for characters who gain an effect when they need the last bullet to hit, but it does hurt characters who need to hit like a big amount of numbers. But then again, you do get the massive reload, so it's not all that bad realistically. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind. She's also a character who can stun enemies for 3 seconds on her burst skill. Now, I don't know if that really has ever come in handy for me personally, but maybe for you guys it's come in handy. I know in PvP it's one of the best ultimates in the game, because literally that 3 seconds is all it takes to get rid of everybody else, so trust me. So this character is the character you definitely want to invest into, because she literally works on every team. To actually, let me go to the Nikkepedia. To have a character who can increase your reload speed by I think almost 50%. Let me check. Level 3 Privity status 51.16% is pretty good for reload, and then the attack buff up to 23% is pretty good, but it's really that reload speed up to 51% reload speed is basically light speed in this game. So definitely invest into Privity, because she's probably the most valuable character in this entire game. Another character is Helm. Helm has to be one of the most useful characters that not a lot of people really realize until endgame, right? I know for the Nihilister boss, this girl is like kind of an essential. I mean, she's not really a staple there. I mean, she's just most like highly recommended. She's quite good. Obviously increases the crit rate of your normal attack when the last bullet hits, and for a sniper that's quite good. She only has 6 bullets, right? So basically you could spam that, right? Because you don't have to fully charge for snipers. You can shoot if you want, but on average snipers do fully charge, right? So keep that in mind. Second part, damage interruption parts permanently increased by 3.08% permanently. Nothing too crazy, honestly, but it is still useful for when you're fighting bosses. But when you enter a full burst, you do end up getting a damage or an attack damage buff, right, of 11.85% for 10 seconds. It's less than Privity's, but it's still free attack. But another thing about this girl is her healing is quite useful when you use her burst skill, right? Now, her increasing the crit rate by a big amount, decently big amount for normal attacks, is going to be useful as well. But you're really only using this girl if you want that free heal basically when you attack, and then also that free attack that's also increasing your damage. So definitely keep that in mind. If you guys hear a dog outside, I can't control it. It's not my dog, right? So keep that in mind. But yeah, Helm and Privity are definitely 2 characters you probably want to invest into. Another character actually is a character that, oh my, these dogs. Admi. Admi is a nice character for mainly reloads team, right? Especially if you pair up with Privity, you're literally reloading at light speed. Now, she does have obviously the charge damage increase to all allies when she is attacked 20 times, and then also 2 allies with the highest attack have their damage taken reduced by damn near 30 rounds. Did they mess up there? Damage taken by 28.65%, I think. I don't know if they meant rounds there, but whatever. For I don't know what that means. That I guess just maybe their damage taken is just decreased for that much shots. I'm not sure. but definitely still good. But of course, what you're gonna use her is her burst skill, right? She's a burst 2, right? Yeah, she's a burst 2 20-second cooldown character who's increasing your reload speed by an additional 50% on top of privities, which makes 100% reload speed, and then your crit damage increased by damn near 30%. So this is a character you're really only going to want to build and use if you're mainly using Scarlet. This is a great character to be paired up with Scarlet, but really if you're running anything that you really need reload on, that's going to be an MVP for those situations. Now and obviously any healer is going to be good, right? If you have Rapunzel, any healer is going to be good, but she's probably the best one. A healer that constantly can heal, like efficiently, and she also revives, right? Her whole thing is just really healing, right? But she does also have the revive. But like I said, her whole thing is being able to increase the max HP of 2 allies with the highest attack, increase their healing received, and then also heal 3 allies with the lowest HP, right? Pretty good unit overall. Best healer for sure. If you get Rapunzel and you're looking for a healer, she's your go-to. There's no question, right? Now, there's other characters you can use. Obviously, Litter is another one, probably one of the staples. And Dorothy, we'll talk about her next actually as well. But Litter is very good for her burst skill, a massive attack buff for only 5 seconds, but it's still massive. But what you're really using her for is the cover HP recover, right? The covers HP recover by a big number, 42% of just 42% flat, not based on anything of her stats, is quite good. You really just, for this character, you just need 1 copy. You don't need dupes for her. Obviously, dupes make her, you know, her stats go up, but you don't need her dupes for anything. You just need 1 copy and you've won with this character, right? This is a character who just depends on the skill levels, and that's actually just based on what? That's level 6, 6, and 7, right? So that can go even higher. And Dorothy's another character as well. Dorothy's not really a support on the team I mean, she is, but she isn't, right? Obviously, you have the damage dealt to enemy parts, but I want to say this debuff, the brand effect is I don't want to say debuff. This brand effect is somewhat of a supportive move because it's just free damage that everybody on your team is putting into like a box, right? Think of it as everybody's putting their damage into a box, and later on, it's just going to come out and explode, right? So it's somewhat of a supportive ability, right? Somewhat of a supportive ability. I don't really know if I would say it's a supportive ability, but Dorothy's definitely going to be a staple as well on many teams, right? So Dorothy, Litter, Helm, Privity, MVP, Rapunzel, going to be great options. Dolla's another good character. I don't know if people really use her now, especially with all the burst 2s we have, but still a very good character. A character who, for every other, I want to say 5 seconds after the first 10 seconds, just free attack buff to all allies, right? So that's another MVP you can definitely invest into, but I would highly recommend investing into Privity the most. This is MVP of the game by far as of right now. Literally used everywhere. Even though she's not the best in the game, she's like probably the best supporter character in the game, if you want me to be completely honest with you, right? Overall, so definitely go ahead and invest into any of these characters if you need them. I did put like a little brief description of what they do for your team, so if any of those descriptions help you out, definitely go ahead. And if there's a character I missed, definitely let me know who you guys would recommend your fellow Nikke players to invest into. But for now, it's your boy Zxous. I'm out. Peace.